lot of foreground that went before the meeting of the two of us and how I came about with the idea to start this company. And I had, of course, no idea what I was doing, but I had this burning need to do something. And when I met Stan, one of the first questions he asked me, he said, well, have you done a marketing survey to determine if this product is going to be successful in the marketplace? And I said, I haven't really done a formal survey, but I worked in the industry for about a dozen years, and I knew that there was a giant hole for a good communication system. And in fact, at the time, what we were using was telephone system intercom, stuff that you saw operators wearing Western Electric 52B headsets and retard coils and just horrible stuff. And really, this is 1975 when cameras were coming along and production was coming along, but that intercom system was dreadful. It was just inexcusably bad. So we needed to simplify. We needed to, as I explained to Stan, look, I need to have audio and power, 2 channels of audio and power on a mic cable. That's 3 wires. And nobody thought you could do that without doing some silly stuff that took place a long time ago. But Stan figured out how to create this thing called a bilateral current source. And we raised the impedance of the power and audio line, well, everything, to 200 ohms. And we were able to bridge across that. And that was the solution. That little tricky circuit that he made work in the power supply and in all the user stations. So once we had established that level of electronic design was going to do what we needed it to do, and we did some pretty elaborate tests, we were on our way. But the thing that really made it work was that Stan was a physicist and an aerospace engineer, design guy, and he was incredibly methodical. He just would not let something be good enough. It had to be better than great, because he was used to designing stuff that would go into outer space. And you don't have a repair guy out there. So we didn't want to have a repair guy down here either. So we designed some pretty amazing circuits at the time, and that's what got us to start. That's how we launched it. So here we were, starting this company, really having no idea that I'd be standing here 40 plus years later and exclaiming and telling you this story. It's quite a great feeling, I must say. The initial spirit of what we did with RTS and how strongly we focused, and that creation of that product line and the following that we had, and we literally set a standard. We became the standard for intercom systems throughout production, and not only TV stations, but more importantly in remote productions and independent productions and studios and the like, and all the way into aerospace. We did some custom stuff for Hughes aircraft. And one time they called up and they said, hey, we need you to, can you make this? And they described it, and I said, yes, we can. Are you willing to pay us the non-recurring engineering? And they said, yes, we are. So we developed what was called the 802 Master Station at that point, and they paid for it, and we turned it into a product. But the other thing that we did is when a customer would say, hey, can you make this? And we thought that was a good idea, we would take that information and we would create that product, and then it became a standard product. So it was really a smart thing of us starting the company. It was a smarter thing listening to our customer base and what they wanted. Well, I think the quality, the difference between what we made then, which was remarkably durable product, and what's made today, it's the obvious evolution. To go from a beautiful analog system to a tremendously powerful digital system, as the Odin represents today, it's very impressive. We won 2 technical Emmy Awards. So the first Emmy Award we won in 1989 was for our contribution as a company to the industry and what we had accomplished. And the second Emmy Award that Stan and I were individually given in 2010 was for our individual contribution.